Hey guys, welcome back. So today we got some custom fabrication, more aluminum. What we have to build is a headache rack for this Cal Fire service truck. Basically, at the moment they're going to use it to mount these lights on the side right here. Kind of like about right there. And then in the future they might use it for satellite or some other stuff. So we're going to use just kind of some base plates. Kind of some base plates right here. We're going to use some 2x3 1/8-inch wall rectangular tubing and just kind of do something real simple. We're not going to roll it and have the curvature and all that. He doesn't want that. He just wants it nice, straight, and simple. So I'll just kind of show you the process of that, and then should be pretty simple. Just make 2 tabs for the lights. Perfect. All right, let's get going. Okay, here's some plates I made the other day because I was originally going to go do this on site. So I have these plates that I already made that are going to go up there. So we're going to look inside here, make sure. So we definitely got plenty of room. Like this top area, nothing's going to get in the way from bolting those down in there. So we're good there. So now we'll get these set up here. Probably somewhere about right there. And then just for ease of setting everything up, I'm going to bolt these down with self-tappers, fabricate everything, and then once everything is done fabricating, go back through and drill all the holes. All right, so we got our mounts on there, both sides. I think 2 self-tappers is more than enough for right now. So we're just gonna use this, kind of get our angle on the window, see what kind of like looks good. Something probably about there. Something really close. And it's only gonna be actually about that tall too, because he only wants it to go right to the top of the window here and just go straight across. That way they can mount stuff on it, not have to worry about a curved surface or anything. So, all right, we'll get these pieces cut and then get them laid out and get them tacked up here. All right, now we got our angle set. Blade drops evenly into the center of that, so we could use those lines right there to set our angle. All right, now we'll cut our side pieces. All right, I have figured out my correct angle here, the angle and then the height that I want it to sit. That way it'll have a nice mitered cut in the corners here. Go ahead and cut these. All right, so we're gonna drill a hole in the center of this. That way they can run their wires through, and he's got a separate circuit for each side, so they're individually controlled. So we'll have to drill a hole in each side for his wires. I'm gonna do 3/4 inch hole. I think that's more than enough to get 2 wires through. So we've got it bolted down, just drill through the aluminum and through the steel. It'll line up nice and straight. And then After we do that, then we can get our tubes tacked on. All right, repeat that process on the other side. Okay, before we tack these side pieces on, we're obviously gonna deburr them and everything, but you know, they've got like some scratches and they've got this numbers printed on here and a few other things. Well, that doesn't look very good, especially if you're trying to make it uniform and whatever. So we're gonna use this surface conditioner and we're gonna give it a even finish all the way around before we tack it on there. So we'll get these clamped down and see how that looks. All right, there were some deeper scratches right there that I just didn't like. That's gonna face outside. I switched over to a slightly more aggressive wheel. I was able to get the majority of those out. There's a couple here. I'm not gonna worry about it. And then I went back over it with the polishing one. So now we're all, like you can see it, like my fingerprints leave marks. It's pretty good. I'm pretty sure they're gonna powder coat it white, but they might leave it bare aluminum. I'm not sure. If they powder coat it, you won't see any of that. All right, now we'll get these tacked on. All right, we're gonna be TIG welding this entire thing. So this is the contraption I came up with to hold these in place. The clamp in the middle is just there for balance to keep the weight a little bit this way so it doesn't tip into the glass. The last thing I need to do is replace the glass on this. So now we just do one side at a time, get all of our angles perfect, double check it with that. Now I don't have to hold anything and I can figure out how to use the pedal, the TIG torch, and the wire all at the same time and get a couple tacks on here. And then also this bar clamped like that ensures that those two are like parallel, these faces are parallel to each other, so that when you put your top piece on, all of that will line up nice. All right, well, let's get the sucker tacked. All right, we got those tacked into place. Double check them again. They're good to go. Now all we have to do is measure from tip to tip, and then we'll have a measurement. Cut them at the same angle as what these are cut, and it should drop right in there and line up perfect. All right, we got that piece in there. See, it looks like it's pretty even. I did cut that tube a little bit shorter. That will give me a small gap on each end. It'll be better penetration for the weld, and the weld will lay a little bit flatter. I haven't determined if I'm gonna sand the welds down or not. So in case I did, I wanted good penetration. It's only 1/8 inch thick, not a big deal. All right, so now we're gonna get that tacked in, and then they want a center tube in here as well, somewhere in the center, Just one more tube going across. He said they might put tires up here. They don't want tires to slide through the cab. I highly doubt the tires would slide on that. But you never know. I mean, they could end up with anything on here because you end up in all kinds of weird situations when you're on fire. As you can see, the angle is off a tiny bit. It's even on both sides, and it's really not a big deal. You won't even be able to tell once it's welded. My set screw on the saw must have moved a little bit when I clamped it down, so it changed the angle a tiny bit. No big deal. All right, now we'll cut that centerpiece. All right, we got our centerpiece tacked on there. Now we're gonna go through and drill our other holes and then remove the self-tapper, drill that hole out. We're gonna be running 5/16 bolts in there. So we'll go ahead and do that, then we'll go ahead and pull this off. And then obviously I'm gonna weld this on the table, much easier than trying to deal with it up here. And then once it's off, we will make our mount for our light right here. All right, now we got it off the truck. And go through, tack it up a little bit better, then start welding it out. All right, you got a couple beads laid down here. Now we're just gonna keep working our way all the way around it until she's fully welded out. All right, breaker tripped. That's why I don't like typically using that old dinosaur, but usually for this thinner stuff, it's not an issue. Right in the middle of a weld too. It's always so annoying. But you get the idea. All right, I'm gonna finish welding that out, and then we'll get started on these light tabs. Okay, so this is the light that we're gonna be using. If this side was the back, this side was the window, most likely it's gonna be used off to the side, but we need to be able to turn it to face the back if needed. So we need about that much of a standoff to make that so they could turn it wherever they need it. So I just made this one. I'm going to show you how I went from this to this. All right, we got her all bolted down, got the lights on. They're gonna take care of all the wiring. I'll let them, they're probably gonna drill a hole somewhere. I'll let them choose where they wanna drill a hole for the wires. I think it came out pretty good. All right, well, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.